this video, I will be comparing Deep Impact and Armageddon, and just the similarities and how much they made and what they were about. So the reason why both the films are so similar is because the Deep Impact scriptwriter of Bruce Rubin had lunch with the Disney president, and they were talking about Deep Impact, and the president took notes and made Armageddon, which sounds like stealing for lack of a better word, but whatever. So Deep Impact came out on May 8th, 1998. It was directed by Jenny Lerner. And the film is about a comet is hurtling toward Earth and could mean the end of all human life. The U.S. government keeps the crisis under wraps, but crack reporter Jenny Lerner uncovers the truth, forcing U.S. President Beck to announce his plan. Grizzled astronaut Spurgeon Fish Tanner and his team will land on the comet and lay explosives, hopefully deterring the object from its doomsday course. If not, humanity will have to prepare for the worst. And so Steven Spielberg was originally going to direct the film, but ended up being executive producer. This film focuses more on the everyday people and focuses more on the politics. It's kind of like a political thriller with an end of the world scenario. And this film, when he announces that the comet is hurtling towards Earth, they have like a year. So the public has more time to prepare for the comet's impending doom. This has okay CGI. It's more serious. It seems to have less of a budget. It just has a lot of news footage and it's indoors a little bit more. It has a toned down love story. And it would have been interesting if it had gotten a sequel. About just life after that first comet and everybody's relearning how to do things. Does that make sense? And this film made $349.5 million at the box office. And so to Armageddon, this was released on June 30th, 1998. It was directed by Michael Bay, and this was his third film. This film is when an astronaut threatens to collide with Earth. NASA honcho Dan Truman determines the only way to stop it is to drill into its surface and detonate a nuclear bomb. This leads him to renowned driller Harry Stamper, who agrees to helm the dangerous space mission, provided he can bring along his own hotshot crew. Among them is the cocksure AJ, who Harry thinks isn't good enough for his daughter, until the mission proves otherwise. This film focuses more on the astronauts, the oil riggers, and NASA, and the whole training process of how to get to the comet. It also seems to focus more on spectacle. Also weirdly patriotic. It's just really kind of in your face. And to me, it's just so weird that they kept this under wraps. The public isn't given enough time to prepare. They announced it the day of the asteroids coming to Earth. And it's not like... So there have been several other asteroids landing, and it destroys Paris, it destroys Grand Central Station or something. Why are we keeping this under wraps? Deep Impact. I understand why Deep Impact did it, but there have been several meteors crashing to Earth and destroying lives. Why are we keeping this under wraps until the day of, where everybody can just get to bunkers? And whenever it does show everyday people trying to go to get to safety, it's like watching an insurance commercial of people I don't care about. This had a little bit better CGI, and unlike Deep Impact, it shows the training of the astronaut. So I guess at a certain point, pause Deep Impact and watch the training. Watch the training. And this has an added love story, which took out a lot of the storylines of Billy Bob Thornton's character, and you could tell it was added and thrown in at certain times. And this seems to have more of a bigger budget and spends more time in space. And all in all, at the box office, Armageddon made $53.7 million at the box office. So both are interesting, both have different directing styles, and at the time, when I first watched Armageddon, I didn't know Michael Bay directed it until I saw his name pop up. So, which one do you like better? Would it have been better if Armageddon waited a year or two to come out? Comment down below and subscribe.